Hello everyone, this is Michael ASMR, and today we're going to be looking at the sleeping habits of several different animals, and wow, they are quite different. I was surprised looking at some of these facts earlier, and I thought, seeing as the ASMR community is associated with sleep, we're all trying to relax our little selves here. I know I've had issues with sleep in the past and continue to. And so I just saw the things that go on with animals and thought that could be decent for a video. So here we go, folks. Different animals and how they achieve their different, very natural, nice levels of sleep. Which better animal? What better animal? Could there be a better animal to start with than the famous cat? We know they like to sleep, but how long do they sleep? According to the facts site, cats sleep around 13 or 14 hours during the day and do most of their hunting at night. This is true for both domesticated moggies and big cats in the jungle. So no matter what their size, it's the same. So I think, as with a lot of things, we can be educated about ourselves by looking at animals. We are animals, of course, and so it's interesting to note that the big cats and the small cats have the same patterns and the same way of doing things. Interesting to note, don't you think? That the species and what's right for the species, that's the main indicator. What's right for your genetics? Work with your genetics. Thank you, cats. A great insight. Oh, and by the way, you're a bunch of very lazy animals. The yin to the yang. Dogs. Apparently, in the wild, dogs will dig themselves a nest and curl up into a ball to keep warm and safe while they sleep. I think I can sort of relate to the curling part, and the nest part too, of course. Domestic dogs often like to have a blanket to dig into and curl up on, and if your dog sleeps stretched out, it probably means that they feel very safe. Have you seen dogs when they do that? The big yawning, stretching type of thing. Well, if yours does that, well done. You're a good owner for dogs. Be proud of yourselves. Didn't know wild ones dug nests though. Did you know that? No, you didn't. See, this video was worth it. Told you. From our fairly domestic animals, apart from the wild dogs and the big cats, but hey, some celebrities might have them. Elephants. Those big-eared fuckers. African elephants sleep for just 2 hours a day. Can you believe that? Some insomniacs out there are saying, of course, Michael ASMR, I can believe that. They are spaced out over a few naps, though, which might differ to your 2 hours. And they are also usually done while standing up, which I know is the way that you sleep. They do lie down every few days to sleep though, as they can't enter REM sleep while standing up. Has evolution really worked out well for the elephant? I don't know. I feel feel a bit sorry for them. Doing all that sleeping standing up, and it's not even the optimal sleeping. Just shows the damn size of them. You're too big, elephants. You're too big. From the majestic and impressive elephant to a sea creature. Sea creature. Dolphins. Those clicking things. Dolphins only actually shut down 1/2 of their brain while they sleep. Pretty much the way most humans are when they're awake. And alternate every few hours or so. This allows them to keep one eye open to spot dangers and tells them to come up for air so they don't drown in their sleep. Practical. Can't disagree with that. Makes sense. You gotta live by your different rules when you're in the fucking ocean all the time. Well done, dolphins. Oh, and now we come to the sea otter. I have to do it. Yes, I see otter. Anyway, one of the more adorable sleeping habits of the animal world, this says. Otters sleep floating on their backs, in groups, and often even hold hands to avoid becoming separated. Oh, they sleep while holding hands, isn't that sweet? Well, like you said, they hold hands to avoid becoming separated. Which means, at times, they probably do become separated. And they drown. They die. Some of those little otters, they die, folks. You still enjoying this video? Frogs. Here we go with the Kermit. Frogs actually hibernate in the winter, and rather incredibly, actually become partially frozen. Let it go, frogs, let it go. Ice forms in the body, except the vital organs, of course, and they stop breathing. Frogs actually freeze themselves. They throw themselves in the freezer and say, this is where I'm going to live for a while. Isn't nature strange? I wonder if they could cryogenically freeze themselves. Could they travel thousands of years through time? Sounds like a spoof film to be made to do with frogs. Albatrosses. No, not that great golf shot. It is actually named after an actual bird. Albatrosses spend so much of their time hunting that they have to be masters of multitasking. Actually getting their beauty sleep while in the air flying, usually in the form of hundreds of very short power naps. I've also heard that described as having a micro sleep, which I think is also what other sea creatures take. Well, while listening to a lot of people, I think I involuntarily take those micro sleeps. Good going, albatross. Duck. Ducks sleep in a row, with the ones on either end keeping one eye open to keep watch for predators, and the ducks in the middle closing both of their eyes. Those ducks in the middle, they don't know they're born, do they? Poor little paranoid ducks on both sides looking for predators. What actually is hunting a duck, other than a human? the first paranoid animal on our list. Although otters do what they do to make sure they don't drown, get swept away, nest, look after themselves, so the others hibernate. Okay, maybe all of them are pretty paranoid. It's for survival, folks. It makes sense, really. Giraffes. Giraffes tend to sleep in intervals no more than 5 minutes at a time. They only need 30 minutes sleep, although can sleep 4.5 hours in captivity. They get bored, you see. Daytime TV for giraffes. Usually younger giraffes curl their necks round to rest on their behinds. Damn, she thick. Whereas some adults sleep standing up. These big creatures again have these issues. Do we sleep standing up? Do we lie down? Do we have our power naps, our micro sleeps? It's a jungle out there, including when you have to sleep. Boy, do they sleep longer in captivity. I'd suggest people in zoos keep them active more. You're making some very lazy giraffes. Meerkats. I'm not going to do a Russian meerkat voice. No. Meerkats sleep in piles, with the alpha at the bottom of the pile to keep them safe. This also helps to conserve warmth on cold nights. Well done, alpha. Well done. Talk about a pylon. I'm not sure you'd really want to be having a pylon and trying to get to sleep at the same time. Unless you're a meerkat. If your name's Russ and you stand next to a wall, what are you called? Walruses have the amazing ability to sleep anywhere at any time. Like you, right? They can sleep lying on the ground, floating in water, or even underwater, where they can hold their breath for up to 5 minutes. Wow. On land, they sometimes sleep for an incredible 19 hours. I don't know about you folks, a lesson I get from looking at a lot of these facts: animals are lazy fucks. Maybe we should be sleeping a bit longer. Aren't we all just stressing ourselves out by not sleeping as much? Be like a walrus. Sleep 19 hours. From those big hefty creatures to little but apparently very affecting to certain superheroes, bats. Bats sleep upside down. No shit, Sherlock. Because their wings are not strong enough to take off from the ground. They also sleep for a very long time, trumping even the walrus by sleeping for an average of 19.9 hours. So it's not just the big ones, it's the creatures that don't get much light as well. They think, fuck it, if I have to be alive, I might as well be sleeping and dreaming that I'm not a bat. Instead of being a bat, you could be the glamorous snail. Okay, so perhaps your favorite animal isn't a snail. Why do they assume? But the way they sleep is quite incredible. Common snails, rather elitist, hibernate from autumn to spring. And one Egyptian land snail, the better kind of snail, which was mistakenly taken to a museum, slept for 4 years straight. Damn. Can you imagine sleeping for 4 years? I think I've already done that. Look for the bare necessities. It's the simple bare necessities. Sleep. Pregnant bears will actually give birth while hibernating and then remain asleep while their cubs nurse themselves, only waking up properly in the spring. You hear that, ladies? Bears are giving birth while they're asleep. That's how easy it is. What are you complaining about? This is impressive considering they don't even urinate or defecate during hibernation. TMI, the fact site. TMI. The final one. Those rather clever but cheeky, sometimes face-ripping off creatures. The chimpanzees. Chimpanzees are rather particular about getting the best night's sleep possible. How dare they? They sleep in treetops to avoid predators and choose the most stable and weavable branches to build their nests with. It's almost as if they're rather clever. Who knew? Thanks for watching and listening, folks. It's been a joy for me as much as it has been for you. I enjoy these fact-finding exercises. Hopefully you're relaxed and you sleep like your favorite animal, the snail. Go get your 4 years of sleep. Good night.